The United States just carried out one of the boldest airstrikes in decades, striking deep into Iran's nuclear infrastructure in what's being called Operation Midnight Hammer. Stealth bombers, cruise missiles, no warning, and now the world holds its breath. On the early morning of June 22, 2025, US forces launched a surprise high precision strike on three of Iran's most fortified nuclear sites. The mission was greenlit after weeks of raising tensions following Israeli air raids on Iranian facilities. Targets: Fordo, Natanz, Isfahan. The US deployed its most advanced assets: B 2 Spirit stealth bombers and submarine launched cruise missiles. These aircraft flew undetected through carefully planned air corridors, likely from Diego Garcia or Qatar. Then, boom! Up to 14 massive bunker buster bombs dropped on hardened nuclear targets. The B 2 Spirit stealth bombers dropped 30,000-pound bunker busters. Tomahawk cruise missiles were fired from submarines in the Gulf. The attack was surgical, coordinated, and backed by deception tactics to blind Iranian air defenses. The operation was aided by a coordinated ruse. Decoy signals and diversion techniques confused Iranian radars and drew defense systems away from the real targets. The US claims Natanz has been effectively destroyed and Fordo heavily damaged. Satellite photos showed collapsed structures and scorched earth. However, Iran insisted the damage is superficial and that key uranium was moved beforehand. International nuclear monitors say no radiation has leaked, but the true extent of the damage may not be clear for weeks. Why now? This wasn't random. The US acted after Israel began a bombing campaign of its own against Iran earlier in June. With Iran vowing revenge, the US made a preemptive move to cripple what it sees as Iran's growing nuclear capability. Iran is furious. Already missiles have been launched at Tel Aviv. Tehran's leadership has vowed everlasting consequences, a chilling promise with nuclear endpoint. Iran has many options now: direct attack on US bases in Iraq, Syria, or the Gulf, missile and drone campaigns via proxies like Hezbollah or the Houthis, cyber attacks on US or Israeli infrastructure, and perhaps most dangerously, attempting to shut down the Strait of Hormuz, through which 20% of global oil flows. The US on its side claims that the strike was a one-time action, not a call for war. But with US bases in Iraq, Qatar, and Syria on high alert, the possibility of broader conflict is very real. The US has already repositioned naval strike groups and put air bases across the region on alert. President Trump warned that any attack on American interests will be met with devastating force. Israel, meanwhile, is bracing for multi-front war. Iron Dome and David's Sling systems are on high alert. Israeli officials say they will hit back 10 times harder if Hezbollah or Iranian forces escalate. World leaders are divided. Israel applauded the strike. Russia and China condemned it as illegal. The UN has called an emergency meeting. Oil markets are spiking. And in Washington, critics are asking, did this president just bypass Congress to start a war? So, where does this leave us? Iran's nuclear program has taken a hit, but it's far from over. The US proved it can strike anywhere, anytime. But now, both sides stand at the edge of something far more dangerous. The Middle East may be about to head into complete chaos. Was this a masterstroke of deterrence or the spark that lights the fuse? It will soon become evident. Thanks for watching.